Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Little Chapel of Faith. My name is Tina. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We have platforms on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're on any of those or all of those, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to tell you my eyes are really having a problem today, so I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. But yeah, it's a rough day today with them. So we are on page 265, number 639. But if you want to follow up to this point, there is a playlist on our YouTube channel that you can, catch, read everything we have up to this point. But if not, we are on page 265, number 639. Thursday during the evening adoration, I saw Jesus scourged and tortured. He said to me, "My daughter, I desire that even in the smallest things you rely on your confessor. Your greatest sacrifices do not please me if you practice them without the confessor's permission. On the other hand, the smallest sacrifice finds great value in my eyes if it is done with his permission. The greatest works are worthless in my eyes if they are done out of self-will, and often they are not in accord with my will, and merit punishment rather than reward. And on the other hand, even the smallest of your acts, done with the confessor's permission, is pleasing in my eyes and very dear to me. Hold firmly to this always. Be constantly on the watch, for many souls will turn back from the gates of hell and worship my mercy. But fear nothing, as I am with you. Know that of yourself you can do nothing." On the first day of the month, before communion, I saw a large ciborium filled with sacred hosts. A hand placed the ciborium in front of me, and I took it in my hands. There were 1,000 living hosts inside. Then I heard a voice. "These are hosts which have been received by the souls for whom you have obtained the grace of true conversion during this Lent." That was a week before Good Friday. I spent the day in great interior recollection, emptying myself for the sake of souls. Oh, what a joy it is to empty myself for the sake of immortal souls. I know that the grain of wheat must be destroyed and ground between millstones in order to become food. In the same way, I must become destroyed in order to be useful to the church and souls, even though exteriorly I can't say that word. Oh my goodness. Exteriorly, no one will notice my sacrifice. I'm so sorry. Oh Jesus, outwardly I want to be hidden, just like the little wafer, wherein the eye perceives nothing, and yet I am a host consecrated to you. Palm Sunday. This Sunday I experienced in a special way the sentiments of the most sweet heart of Jesus. My spirit was there where Jesus was. I saw Jesus riding on a donkey's foal, and the disciples and a great multitude with branches in their hands joyfully accompanying the Lord Jesus. Some strewed them before his feet where he was riding, while others raised their branches in the air, leaping and jumping before the Lord, and not knowing what to do for joy. And I saw another crowd which came to meet Jesus, likewise joyful faces with branches in their hands, and they were crying out unceasingly with joy. There were little children there also, but Jesus was very grave. The Lord gave me to know how much he was suffering at that time. And at that moment I saw nothing but only Jesus, whose heart was saturated with ingratitude. Quarterly Confession. Father Bukowski, when some inner force urged me again not to put off this matter, I was unable to find peace. I told the confessor, Father Bukowski, that I could not wait any longer. Father answered me, "Sister, this is an illusion. The Lord Jesus cannot be demanding this. You have made your perpetual vows. All this is an illusion. You are inventing some sort of heresy." And he was shouting at me almost at the top of his voice. I asked him whether all of this was an illusion. He said, "Everything." "Then please tell me what course I must take." "Well, sister, you must not follow any inspiration. You should get your mind off all of this. You should pay no attention to what you hear in your soul and try to carry out your exterior duties. Give no thought to these things and put them completely out of your mind." I answered, "Good. Up to now I have been following my conscience, but now that you direct me, Father, to pay no heed to my interior, I will cease to do so." Then he said, "If the Lord tells you something again, please let me know, but you must take no action. I answered, very well. I would try to be obedient. I don't know why Father was being so severe. When I left the confessional, a multitude of thoughts oppressed my soul. Why be sincere? What I have told is no sin, so I have no duty to tell the confessor. And again, what a relief that I do not have to heed my interior anymore, as long as things are all on the right outside. I do not have to pay attention to anything or to follow the inner voices that have cost me so much humiliation. From now on, I will be free. And again, a strange pain seized my soul. Can I not then commune with the one whom I desire so greatly? The one who is the sole strength of my soul? I began to cry out, "To whom shall I go, Jesus?" But from the moment of the confessor's prohibition, great darkness fell upon my soul. I feared lest I hear some inner voice which would occasion the breaking of my confessor's prohibition. And then again, I die of longing for God. My interior soul is torn asunder, not having any will of its own, since it was turned over completely to God. That was on Wednesday of Holy Week. The suffering intensified on Holy Thursday. When I came to make my meditation, I entered into a kind of agony. I did not feel the presence of God, but all the justice of God weighed heavily upon me. I saw myself as if knocked down for the sin of the world. Satan began to mock me. "See, now you will no longer strive to win souls. Look how you've been paid. Nobody will believe you that Jesus demands this. See how much you are suffering now and how much more you're going to suffer. After all, the confessor has now released you from all these things. Now I can live as I like, as long as things are all right outwardly." These dreadful thoughts tormented me throughout the whole hour. When it was almost time for the Holy Mass, my heart was seized with pain. Am I then to leave the congregation? And since Father has told me that this is a kind of heresy, am I to fall away from the church? I cried out to the Lord with a sorrowful interior cry, "Jesus, save me." Still not a single ray of light entered my soul, and I felt my strength failing, as if my body were separating itself from the soul. I submitted to the will of God and repeated, "O God, let whatever you have decided upon happen to me. Nothing in me is any longer my own." Then suddenly God's presence enveloped me and penetrated me through and through. This was just as I was receiving Holy Communion. A moment after Holy Communion, I lost all awareness of everything around me and of my whereabouts. Then I saw the Lord Jesus, as he is represented in the image, and he said to me, "Tell the confessor that this work is mine, and that I am using you as a lowly instrument." And I said, "Jesus, I can no longer do anything you command me to do, because my confessor has told me that all this is an illusion, and I am not allowed to obey any of your commands. I will do nothing that you tell me to do now. I am sorry, my Lord, but I am not allowed to do anything, and I must obey my confessor. Jesus, I most earnestly ask your pardon. You know how much I suffer because of this, but it can't be helped, Jesus. The confessor has forbidden me to follow your orders." Jesus listened to my arguments and complaints with kindness and satisfaction. I thought the Lord Jesus would be grievously offended, but on the contrary, he was pleased and said to me kindly, "Always tell your confessor about everything I say to you and command you to do, and do only that for which you will obtain permission. Do not be upset and fear nothing. I am with you." My soul was filled with joy, and all the courage, oppressive thoughts vanished. Certitude and courage entered my soul. I really had to read that through because I was wanting to know where that was going. Somehow I was able to. Wow. I guess tomorrow we'll find out where that goes from there. But until then, I hope you're all having a beautiful day. Be well, be safe, be kind to each other. God bless you all.